Hello everyone, it is I, Republic Studs, back at it again with another set ideas video. Now today we are going to be doing prequel sets, which is very cool, but please make sure to subscribe. We're going to be doing more sets, ideas videos like this, and let's get right into it. First up, we have the ship that goes by many names, such as the Separatist command ship, droid control ship, Lucrehulk battleship, and the donut ship. This ship has been iconic for over 20 years now since its appearance in Episode 1, where Anakin blew it up with a little N1 Naboo starfighter, and it has yet to be made in LEGO, which is insane. They could do a lot of things, and I don't know why they didn't do it. It could be because of its weird shape and there's not as much of an interest in expensive Separatist ships. I don't know. But I think the main features of this would be a detachable escape pod, which would be the center command area where you could also put little figures in. I think a little hangar that you'd probably fit maybe a few small hyena droid fighters or an N1 would be cool. And I think the figures would be a young Anakin, a Newt Gunray, and maybe one or two of his Nemoidian friends. And I'd say a good chunk of battle droids. I'm not going to be definitive on that because they haven't really done a set like this. But I think that at least maybe like 6 to 8 battle droids would be appropriate for a set like this. And I think that it would retail for around $200 to $250, which I know sounds like a lot, but I think it would be very worth it. And I would absolutely love to see this. Now, moving on to the very next one, we have the Acclamator class assault ship. Now, this is easily one of, if not the most iconic ships in the Republic arsenal to the mainstream public. After this, its iconic appearance in the Oscar-winning shot in Episode 2 with all the clones, we get to see this beautiful ship throughout the Clone Wars. We saw in Clone War, and it's been pretty much beloved. And the fact that it hasn't been made is kind of crazy to me. I'm genuinely shocked LEGO has not made it in nearly any capacity, it's honestly just mind-boggling. And I think that the features would be a ramp that you could have like clones walking and down, up and down. I don't think it would include like mini things, but I think it would include a ramp that could probably fit like one trooper up it, and it would kind of fold up to make it more triangular. And there would be a little holding area to carry troops, obviously. I think that would be much important. A big complaint of LEGO Star Wars set is there no minifigure space in the big ships. I would have a small command room in the front or top. And this would include Chancellor Palpatine as well, because he is from that iconic shot, as well as maybe a clone admiral, and 4 Phase 1 clone troopers and maybe 1 Phase 1 clone captain. I feel this would also retail for around $150 to $200, but seeing how certain sets like Kylo Ren's transport, or Kylo Ren's shuttle, and other sets along those lines are going for, I have a feeling this could go for $200 to $250 as well. Next up, we have a very big one, and this is the Master Builder Series Battle of Geonosis playset. Now, this would be somewhat like UCS Hoth, but not as bad. It would be really good, and it would just be absolutely amazing. You'd have like a little room where Yoda fights Dooku. You could have trenches for the clones or droids to mount in. You would have dwarf spider droids, speeder bikes, staps, maybe an ATRT, like you'll have one of each of these things, bark speeders, and loads of figures. I think that figures that would be included are Anakin, Obi-Wan, Padme, Yoda, Mace Windu, C-3PO in his Episode 2 appearance, which, by the way, LEGO has not made yet, and I really want C-3PO in his Episode 2 appearance, as well as R2-D2. Maybe he'd have his little rocket boosters, and a new Count Dooku, because we haven't gotten Count Dooku in forever. I know that already sounds like a lot, but these Master Builder series, I'm giving the exact same amount of figures that were in the Hoth set, but I would also include 6 clone troopers, and not exact because battle droids, 6 clone troopers, Phase 1 plain clone troopers, 8 Geonosis battle droids, and maybe a Geonosian or 2. I don't know. There's probably some wiggle room. You'd take some, add some, and this set would easily retail for around $300 to $350, as all the other ones do. And I think everyone would absolutely love a Master Builder Series Geonosis set, and we haven't gotten enough for the prequel line, and I have a feeling we're going to be getting some probably very soon. Moving to a smaller scale, we have the Duel over Coruscant set. Now, this set would be somewhat like all the Snoke's throne room set or Vader and Luke's final duel. It would include Emperor Palpatine, Anakin, Obi-Wan, Dooku, and 2 super battle droids. So basically, like, you're swapping out the figure selection from Palpatine's duel. Instead of having the Imperial Guards, you have the super battle droids. Instead of having Luke and Vader, you have Anakin and Obi-Wan, and then you have Palpatine, and then on top of that, you have Dooku. Now, this set would be packed with features like flipping, falling, platforms on Obi-Wan, little areas for them to like put stud hoppers for them to Obi-Wan, Anakin, and Dooku to fight. And the fact that this battle has not been made, the one that took place on the capital ship, the duel over Coruscant, is kind of absurd. It's been around for almost 20 years now, which is crazy. And while I love the Providence ship, and I was gonna put it on here next, we already did do the Separatist command ship, and I think that would just get repetitive as much as I'd like to see it, but I thought this would be a nice way to bring it in some capacity and recreate the iconic duel where we all know when to do it. Now here we have another duel, but this is probably the cheapest set on here. This would be Palpatine versus Yoda. This would go for around $20, and the main build would be Palpatine's little floating Senate pod. That would where he and Yoda duel we see in Episode 3. And I think this would be an epic battle, and LEGO should definitely make it. And we also haven't gotten this duel. The figures included would be Palpatine in his red royal cloaks, which would be cool. We kind of got that in Palpatine's arrest set, but we didn't get it with the hood and everything, and I think this would just make it even better with like the old shriveled Palpatine. And it could also possibly be the first time we could include Masa Meta, which would be very cool, but that would probably bring up the price to $25 to $30. But yeah, that would be my pick for this other duel set. There are just so many duels in Episode 3 that I think this one was also important that hasn't been made. And let's move into the next one. Moving on to yet another one of these big sets would be the first of its time in the LEGO Star Wars brand. And it would be a Jedi Temple set. Now, this would probably be around $400. Let me get that right off the back. $400, $500. And it would be somewhat comparable to the way the Death Star looks, the Death Star playsets. And you would basically open it up after you got like the main exterior. You get an idea for what it is. Almost like the LEGO Hogwarts sets. Now, it would be modular. You'd have many rooms. Like, I think you could either do it in a MIDI scale or a minifig scale type thing, but it's not as accurate. Now, if it was like mini scale, I think that it could have like the hallways, the council room, the meditation room, just all that sort of stuff, and possibly even a holocron room or youngling training. And I think if they were to do a minifig scale, it would include at least the Jedi Council's chambers, maybe a meditation room, because that's pretty easy to shove into a corner, and definitely some sort of main corridor area for them to gather. I would also include this as a Master Builder series set if it is a minifigure playset, but if it is a micro scale set, then I would make it a UCS set. Now, the figures included, I think, would be like Yoda, maybe 2 Jedi Temple Guards, 1 or 2 younglings, some famous Jedi LEGO hasn't made, like Sindrali, Yarl Poof, Yaddle, Oppo Rancis, Depa Balaba, Pablo Jill. I don't know. It's kind of limitless. I think this would be a really fun set. The way they did the cantina, after I saw that, I'm like, they could totally pull off a Jedi Temple. This would be really great, and I definitely hope LEGO makes it. One of our very last picks is Padme's Star Skiff Cruiser. Well, this set I pretty much can guarantee will never ever be made, unless it's some sort of UCS or promo set. We do see it 2 times throughout the Star Wars movies, or in 2 movies. We see it being blown up in Episode 2, and then I guess we see a new one of it in Episode 3. And the only times we see it are in Sadness. Obviously, it was blown up, and obviously she was getting choked when the other time happened. But this figure would most likely come in gray and not silver, because silver's, again, too expensive. The figures, I think, would be a new Padme in her, like, I guess, pregnant clothes or whatever. It would also come with C-3PO, pristine, golden C-3PO, Obi-Wan Kenobi, and a little, like, compartment to hide for him. I'll get into the details in a bit. And it would come with Captain Typho. I think there would be cool details, like, obviously, a cockpit for them to fly, I think there maybe be a little holding area for astromech droids, so maybe we can include R2 as well. And I also think a cool area would be a little hiding area for Obi-Wan that we see him hide in Episode 3. And this set would probably retail for around 150, but it could also, I could see it going for maybe like 60, 70. You've seen it happen. I think it could also just, I don't know. It's really a weird pick. It's kind of the way I base this set off of is Darth Maul's ship, his little like flyer. Yeah. Now let's move into our very final set. Very final set. I would have be Bail Organa's rescue speeder. Now this would be a speeder that we see Bail Organa. You know, he goes to the Jedi Temple, and then the kid gets shot, and then he goes to pick up Yoda after he loses the duel with Palpatine. And I think this set would include Bail in his senatorial clothing, which we haven't gotten yet, and I think it's absurd, and I want it. Master Yoda, but this time he'd come without like his Jedi robe thing, because I just think, didn't he lose it, right? And it would also come with a shock trooper, since they were hunting them down, and I want to see a new shock trooper in the new Lego clone trooper design. Now, this is just an awesome idea, honestly. This was like, I haven't heard anyone talk about this, so there's probably not much concept art. But this would probably retail for around $30 and have probably in the area of around 400 pieces. Now, did you guys enjoy that? I really did. If you guys want to see one for basically every Star Wars movie or medium, let me know. I'd love to do it. If you just want to see one on a trilogy by trilogy basis, I can do that too. But the likes on this video will determine that, so make sure to like, and it will help me decide a ton. Please remember to check out all my other content, check out all my sponsors. I will see you all in the next one. Remember to peace out, stay awesome, have a great day.